Alright guys, welcome back to VALORANT News. The VCT kickoffs are about to get underway tomorrow, starting in China, but that does not mean the Americas one is necessarily going to go ahead as planned. Leo Farrier says that from the Riot side, given all the situation right now with the wildfires out there in LA, it's possible, but not guaranteed as it stands, there will be situations that occur with the Riot Games arena that potentially affect the start of the Americas kickoff. As for now, it's all green lit, but it's not necessarily guaranteed to stay that way over the coming days. Serious problems potentially afoot. Very much interested to your thoughts on the comment section below. Big scrim results as well, with Sentinels looking pretty good. Hit the like button if you enjoy. Subscribe if you're new as always. I would greatly appreciate it. This just to have a quick look at here from Derek. Of course, we know that the Evil Geniuses roster for the upcoming season is looking, well, pretty decent on paper. We'll have a look at some of their scrim results as well here in a second. But yeah, here he is using Tejo, and the agent's pretty powerful, it's got to be said. Look, you've got to hit some nice shots as well in order to make it work. And look, there was only one piece of utility that he really used to make this clutch work, but still, it's not bad, this agent on paper, and of course we're already seeing people start to use him because it's pretty likely that in the kickoff in a couple of days, assuming that it goes ahead as planned, that you know, there might be some utilization of this agent as it stands. Booster was talking about the bundle, obviously 100T what they're rocking up as well. I know there was some talk as well that the bundle situation may change because we saw the blue in the bundle. Now it's not usually a color that 100T go for, but it is a color that they've gone for here with their own bundle because, you know, they had the red and the black and the white that they typically use. This year they've gone for the blue to presumably differentiate from Sentinels, basically. And I don't think that's necessarily a bad idea. It's just, you know, a little bit confusing to be on paper. But they did say that the VCT team capsules, the content may change even frequently to reflect the team's branding choices. So this implies to me that, well, other things in the team capsules may change. So right now, all the player cards are the same. I'm hoping what this statement means is that the teams in due course may be allowed to go through and change their, you know, elements of the bundle, whether that even be the colors. Because, you know, if I'm putting forward a color palette to my classic skin, because it's got to be another classic skin for the new team capsule, do I know what every other team has done so I can ensure that mine is unique? Maybe not. So maybe there's some teams that say, okay, ours is quite similar to this team's. Can we change it a little bit? They may look to do that. And then obviously when you're considering player cards that are all the same this year, everyone wanted those to be unique as they were last time. So, yeah, we'll see if that goes anywhere. Couple of Rostermania things. Tanmay reckons that Full sent to signing the full core of Made in Thailand, the team that impressed pretty well recently. Full sent to looking to bring them on board, it seems. And we also have this spotted here from Liquipedia on Apex, right? So this is the only team that have not confirmed as it stands their full roster for the upcoming season. Avova, Molsey, Floor, of course, is their hype, and then their coach in addition as well. We did wonder, was this the team that gave, you know, Ardis the call? Because we know that Ardis got a call up to say, hey, you know, we want you to sub in somewhere. That's at least what he said. But it looks like it's going to be Batanax who's stepping into the team instead. Probably the worst pronunciation of all time, but he did play for Apex before. Of course, another Turkish talent, I think 19-year-old Turkish talent. He played for Apex, kind of subbed in for them a couple of months ago now, and seems like they may have chosen him to keep around for their full-time roster. I guess we'll see on that. Just quickly, this I thought was interesting, discussing the teams in the, you know, Brazilian region. Basically, there was, you know, a content creator over there discussing how, in his opinion, 2Game, Furia, and MIBR, they're, you know, potentially looking at a good level compared to Loud. His general feeling is that Loud have looked the shakiest of all of those teams so far, and while the other teams might, you know, Furia has apparently grinded the best, 2Game maybe has the best core, you know, base of players, MIBR is not trained as much, but of course they've got the ceiling because they've got Aspas over there. He doesn't reckon Loud are going to be that good. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, who knows? The kickoff's coming up in a few days. If the kickoff actually happened. And this was a lot of the discussion yesterday. So I know that many of you guys will be based out there in California or nearby and absolutely wishing the best because it's a devastating current event that's happening out there with the wildfires in LA. And it may well have a trickle-down effect into Valorant esports as well. So as Leo says, because lots of the esports understandably are based out of there, lots of tech development is based in LA as well. And as Leo says, the past 48 hours have been incredibly devastating and heartbreaking here in LA. We're doing everything we can to support the hundreds of rioters, you know, riot staff, production crew, pro teams and staff involved in the VCT. As of now, the Americas kickoff is still a go for next week. It's still green light, but of course life comes first. fires remain active. There are ongoing concerns about air quality, mobility, evacuation orders, and curfews in several locations. We'll be ready to make changes if needed. Thanks all for showing up, supporting, and taking care of one another. So it's a complicated matter, right? It's not about, oh, the venue is okay, the venue's not on fire, so it's fine, right? Well, sure, but obviously it's a few days away now, but there are still some concerns to worry about because, you know, there's evacuation orders. People have evacuated the area. There's many production staff and things that need to be readied for the event to go ahead on time that may not be able to happen just because of, you know, the staffing situation and also the air quality. Pretty likely, given where the Riot Games arena is located, that it's in an area, I'm not exactly sure, but I'd imagine it's in an area where the smoke from the flames of the fires is seriously affecting the area. From an air quality perspective, they might not feel like they can actually run an event there right now. If the event was starting tomorrow, as China is, I would say there's almost a 99% guarantee that it would be postponed. But as it stands, a few days out, it's likely I think they can still make it work. But just to have a look at this real quick here. So this is where most of the fire is currently ongoing, and the Riot Games arena is here. So just to show that it's kind of not far away, and it's only a few blocks away from where the fires are still causing, you know, wreaking havoc, really. So I think we can be hopeful that everything will probably go ahead as plans, but yeah, it's definitely not ideal right now with you know, the circumstances out there. But it's the 16th of January this gets underway, so you know, hopefully over the next 4 to 5 days the situation will ease and Riot can be confident they can run the event on time and as planned. The event will go ahead. You know, it may need postponing, I think would be the current sentiment, but my feeling is it's probably going to be okay. Tomorrow China gets underway officially, EMEA on the 15th, America's on the 16th, Pacific on the 18th, and then over the next couple of weeks, we are going to find out who the best teams in the respective regions are. Zels is, of course, wishing the best for everyone. It's not just, you know, obviously it is Riot staff and massively important, but also many of the players are based out there as well. So, you know, I'm sure they're dealing with an awful lot at the moment and wishing the best. Let's talk about those some scrims, because Sentinels, they've still been practicing. There's no doubt about that, and their practice results have seemingly been looking pretty good in recent days. This was some interesting results. So VCT Scrims has been putting everything on the timeline here. So I went through and found the things that I found most interesting. So they were playing Dimasic's team, and KC, Carmine Corps, were fried 14-3. So, you know, I just wanted to find the ones with the results that I found a little bit more interesting, because if somebody is scrimming another team and it's 2-2, then it's like, who cares? I can't read anything into that. This, though, I actually can. So, Sadak's team, of course, on KC, the team that was just up 14-3 on Dimasic's roster, they were down 17-6 to KOI. So, yeah, kind of interesting. And there was talk about this as well, that apparently they slammed them 20-4, and so yeah, interesting stuff. Obviously, there's been some questions on this. Is Sadak going to deliver the goods with KC? How good is that team going to be? Is he going to, you know, become the kind of hero that fan base would like to get behind and support? Some good and some bad from their results, it seems, over the last couple of days. 100T played MXS as well. It was 12-8 in their favor. To my understanding, there have been Tejo being used in these scrims. So Tejo's in the game, he is being used, they are practicing with him going forward. Some people are looking good with Tejo, others probably not so much, but I don't think he's an especially challenging agent to use. So I think that he will be used. I know that teams have been trialing him in scrims as far as I'm aware, and I don't expect that to change going forwards. But yeah, BCJ and the boys, they were 12-8 up on 100T in this particular moment. QOR, they were playing EG, of course, Yay, Nature, Icy, those guys, Derek, Superman, etc, etc. That was 13-10, pretty close, but still, just thought it's something to keep an eye on. Obviously, the map is somewhat dependent on this, but also Sentinels. They were spotted playing Cloud9, and it was 11-6 in their favor this one. So a little bit more, you know, decisive maybe, one way or the other on paper. I think there's a feeling that Cloud9 are okay, but they shouldn't be as good as Sentinels are right now. And we saw NRG were playing the Rankers. I'm really fascinated to imagine how this one finished, just because we know that team with Moose and Inspire and obviously formerly Baby J, always keep wanting to say. They've been looking pretty good, and they were smoking Leviathan, it seems, the other day, as we saw yesterday. But NRG, it was 2-4, so kind of early days in that scrim. And then we had Sentinels play TSM, and this one was 10-4 in favour of Sentinels. So yeah, this is kind of what we've seen so far. As I say, if you see any of these scrim results, either DM them to VCT Scrims, you can put them out there, DM them to me, whatever you feel like doing. But there was also this just final thing to mention here. Based on a couple of scrim results and names that have been seen together, there's a feeling that it might well be Dapper playing with Redux, playing with T-Dog, and playing with Scuba and Knights as well. Those guys over on the Qubit Academy. So this makes a lot of sense, I would say. Scuba, Redux, Dapper, all part of that Oxygen Esports team together last year, and it seems plausible that Dapper will be the final player potentially to close out the Qubit Academy. So yeah, we'll see about this. He might be the sub, he might be the coach. Either is possible, but he will, I think, be involved to some degree in the Qubit Academy. So yeah, pretty likely that he might be the assistant coach or the substitute there for Qubit, and kind of nice if that is the case to still see Dapper involved to some degree in the Sentinels organization. But he's been spotted with those guys, so exactly what his role is there, I think, you know, it's still a bit of a question mark. But very much interested in your thoughts on all of this stuff in the comment section below. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, take care, and I'll see you next time.